Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. For today's video, we are doing a very highly requested, very long awaited, updated rating my self tanners from worst to best video. I know last week I posted a rating my facial self tanners from worst to best. So I was in the mood to rate things and I said, you know what? I'm gonna do the updated version of the regular self tanners because it has been a while since I've done that and a lot of you were asking for me to do an updated one, so ask and you shall receive. So we have a lot of ground to cover. I think there's like 25 or 26 self tanners here, so I'm a little stressed. Bear with me. Please stick around to the end to find out what is my favorite, my number one, my ride or die self tanner. You don't want to miss it. It's not what you're gonna expect. So stay tuned. Anyways, longest intro in the world. Please make sure to give this a huge thumbs up for me and make sure to subscribe to my channel, you guys. If you love anything that has to do with self tanners or makeup, you are going to love my channel. I post 3 videos a week, so you're constantly seeing me and hearing from me. If you guys like my videos, then definitely make sure to subscribe. But if you want to see me rate all of these self tanners from worst to best, stay tuned for the rest of the video. Okay, so like I said, I'm not gonna do too much talking. I'm just gonna get right into it because there are so many self tanners that I don't even know where to start. I know last time I did this, I kind of went like into depth about why I rated which one where, but since there are so many, I honestly don't have like a good reason for some of these for why I put them where they are. So I'm not gonna do too much of explaining why things are rated where. I'll like throw in a little comment here and there, but I'm not gonna do too much explaining because I know it can get kind of annoying. And if things are in a little bit of a different order than in my last video, it's because of course opinions change. So if anything has changed from the last video as far as like older self tanners that I'm re-adding in here, I'm sorry, but yeah, opinions change, so maybe they're in the same spot, maybe they're different. Anyways, my first self tanner, my number one most hated self tanner, and I don't hate anything. I don't hate anybody, I don't hate anything, but I strongly dislike this self tanner. I will never touch this again. I literally only used this once for a video. It's the Sol by Jergens Water Mousse. I really don't like this stuff, you guys. It broke me out so bad. It made me so splotchy. I remember this so specifically too. I just remember just really not liking how my tan looked that week. I just didn't like anything about this. And I know a lot of people were giving me crap because they were like, it literally says right on the bottle, don't put it on your face, because it broke my face out really bad. I'm sorry, but I feel like if you're getting a self tanner and you're paying for a self tanner, you should be able to put it on your face. Like if I could put all the rest of these 26 self tanners on my face, I should be able to put this one on there. The next one is also from Sol by Jergens, and it is the Sunless Tanning Towelettes. These were just as bad, and I would probably say a little messier. These are only above the water because they didn't break me out that I can remember. Correct me if I'm wrong. These didn't break me out, but they made me so patchy and splotchy and just weird looking. I looked orange kind of from them. I was just really not a fan at all. I haven't touched these either ever since, so ugh. Next, I'm sure you guys can guess, is the Fake Bake self tan spray. This was just so messy and just not fun, not a good experience. I didn't like how I looked the next day. I'm never gonna use it again. It made my entire floor just really messy, so I really did not like anything about that. Next is from TANLUXE. It's the Hydrating Self Tan Mousse. It's like that clear one. I really didn't like this, you guys. I'm not a huge fan of clear self tanners. I'm sure if you guys have been with my channel for a while, you really know that, because I really like to stress that. It's just not easy when you're applying to your entire body because it makes such not even a mess. It doesn't make a mess because it's clear. It looks nicer initially because you don't have that initial crazy color on you, but you cannot see what you're working with, and it just makes it so much harder. And this barely gave me any color. It was really also splotchy, so I was really not a fan of this. I have yet to find something from TANLUXE that I actually like. If you have a recommendation, comment and I'll try it. I don't know why I keep doing that to myself and spending all the money, but this is just so expensive for no reason, which is why it's towards the bottom. So yeah, next is from Kula. So this is also a very, very, very expensive self-tan that really did not do much for me, which is also why it's towards the bottom. I just feel like self-tanners should not cost this much if they're not gonna give you like crazy, crazy amazing results. Next is from Vita Liberata. It's the 2-3 week tan mousse. I'm really not a fan of this, and I almost feel like I should have put it more towards the bottom than the Kula and the TANLUXE, but it's fine, we'll leave it where it is. I really did not like this because this is also another insanely expensive one. I think I paid like 40 or 50 bucks for this, somewhere in that range. I'll link all of these in the description, by the way, in case you're interested in any of these self-tanners. They will all be listed and linked in the description box. And it didn't give me hardly any color. Like, it was okay, but it was nothing where I was like, I love this. Like, it's really not a memorable tan at all. Again, I only used this the one time that I reviewed it, and I never touched it again. And I feel like almost the entire bottle is gone from just one application. And it's like a tiny little bottle for a lot more than all of these self-tanners. So definitely not worth it. Next is the Tropez Express Self-Tan Mousse. I thought this one was all right, but it's definitely my least favorite of all of the Tropez self-tanners that I've tried, just because it didn't really give me much color at all. The next one is from Bondi Sands. It's the AERO 1 Hour Express Self-Tan Mousse. So it's not that I don't like this. I actually do really, really like this. But I feel like there are better self-tanners out there. Like, I felt like this one almost dried too quickly on me, so it was kind of hard to spread. I did like the color that came out, but I do feel like this is more kind of an olive tan, and you guys already know I'm a very big, like, red undertone kind of person. Like, I love looking like that true golden tan, and this is more like that olivey kind of tan, so that's why this is right over there in the middle, somewhere in the middle. Next up is the Tarte Braziliance 2 Hour Express Self Tan. Again, the rest of these I liked, but this one is just where it is because it didn't wow me. Basically, it just didn't do anything too special. Like, it was an okay self tan, but I don't really see myself reaching for it as much as I do the other ones, so that's why it's there. Next is the Josie MARAN Argan Oil Self Tanner. I did like this one. I don't really have a good reason for why this is here, but I just felt like it had to be there, you know? Next is the MINETAN Express Self Tan Mousse in medium dark. I really loved this one, you guys. I really, really like the MINETAN Self Tanner, but just the rest of these were better to me, in my opinion. Like, I have to try some more MINETAN Self Tanners because I know there's a bunch, but there's so many self-tanners out there, you guys. It's so hard to get to all of them, so be patient with me. We're on this journey together, and it's gonna be a long one. We're here for a long time and a good time. So I'm gonna try more, but yeah, this is kind of in the middle. Next up is the Australian Glow 1 Hour Express Self Tan. I really, really liked this. It really got me dark, and it was so inexpensive. Like, I think this was like 20 bucks, correct me if I'm wrong. So cheap, and it was so good. Next is the Bali Body Clear Self Tanning Mousse. This one I actually really liked. This is the best clear self tanner that I've tried out there. Bali Body just makes really amazing self tanners, you guys. Like, I love all of their self tanners that I've tried. I haven't disliked anything. This one is just in the middle because it's meant to be like a more natural self tan. It's not meant to give you a lot of color, and you guys know I love to have a lot of color at all times. I don't care what time of year. And this just gave me a really subtle tan, which I don't usually grab for, but I did really love how it looked on me the next day. Like, I was shocked at how much color it actually gave me. Next is the Tarte Braziliance self tanner, but this is like the gel version. I love this, you guys. This is like my go-to when I want a more natural looking tan. For something like a more subtle tan, not natural, they all look pretty natural on me, I guess, but like a more subtle tan. I just love the consistency of this. I love the idea of the gel. I love the smell of it. It's really not messy at all, so easy to use. I just love everything about it, but you guys know I love my dark self tan, so that's why that's kind of in the middle. Next is Filter by Molly May. Love this. Got me so dark, but it's just in this spot because after a few days, it starts to come off really splotchy and my skin just looks kind of like weird after a few days. So that's why that's there. And then the next one is from UTAN. It's the Turbo Self Tan Mousse, and this is the cherry one. Love, love, love the color that I get from this. I get compliments every time I wear this and the Filter by Molly May, but this is also right here for that same reason. It's just after a few days, it starts to come off kind of like splotchy and it looks funny. You can definitely tell that I'm wearing a fake tan. Next is the Isle of Paradise Dark Self Tanning Water. I love how this looks, you guys. This is also a really good one for when you want a little bit more of, I don't want to say subtle tan because it gives me good color, but it's not as dark as the rest of these, I would say. Like, this is a little bit more of that natural kind of look. Not natural, I don't know why I keep saying that, but a little bit more subtle than the rest of these. But just like the way it went on, it's just so beautiful. I really loved everything about it. I just love Isle of Paradise so freaking much. Next up is from COCO and Eve, the Sunny Honey Bronzing Mousse. So good. Amazing. I love this self tanner. I always recommend it because it's just really good. It's just, again, I feel like it leans more to that olivey side, so that's why it's not higher up, but it's a really good self tanner. Really good. Next is from Loving Tan. It's the Deluxe Bronzing Mousse in Ultra Dark. This is the regular one, not the Express. Again, amazing color that comes out. Just really perfect. But the rest of these are just better. Next, I literally can't believe this is where it is, but it's the Bali Body Self Tanning Mousse Ultra Dark. You would think that this would be higher up, but these ones that I've tried since then have just like blown me out of the water. This is still like a ride or die self tan for me though. I will never let myself run out of this. I will always have like a backup on deck because it is so amazing. But yeah, I love it. Next is the Tropez Self Tan Extra Dark Bronzing Mousse. This is not an Express, it's a regular one, but the color that this gives me the next day is so amazing. Like, I am obsessed with this. I've noticed myself grabbing for this so much on weeks when I'm not trying a new self tanner. Like, I'll see this and I'm instantly like, yep, I want this one. So good. I always know it's gonna give me a really good dark tan. I just love it. Okay, so these next three, I'm like kind of struggling because I don't know if I put them in the right order. But let's just go with it. Next is the SOSU Dripping Gold Self Tan, and you guys know that I was raving about this. Last time I did a rating my self tanners video, I'm pretty sure this was my number 2 because it's so freaking good and it gets you so dark. But I've tried so many self tanners since then and I've just been reaching for these a little bit more. The next one is the Bali Body 1 Hour Express Self Tan. I love this stuff, you guys. When I saw that they came out with an Express tan, I literally almost fainted how excited I was because you guys know my love for Bali Body and my love for Express self tanners. So you already know how much I was freaking out when this came out. And it's so beautiful. It literally gives you such a perfect golden tan so quickly. It's just so good. But these next 3, which are my last 3, just did a little something extra for me, if that makes sense. So my number 3 top self-tanner is, surprisingly, by the way, the Isle of Paradise Express Ultra Dark Self-Tanning Mousse. I have gotten so many compliments whenever I've worn this self-tanner. This actually has a violet undertone to it, so it's not like the red, it's not like the olive, it's a violet. And I'm pretty sure this is the only self-tanner that I have that has a violet undertone. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure it is. But it gave such a nice dark tan. Just the color in itself that it gave me and how smooth and just beautiful it looked on me just like blew me away. I was so shocked. So this is my number 3 for sure. My number 2, which was my number 1 last time, it got bumped down 1 place. It is the Loving Tan 2-Hour Express Deluxe Bronzing Mousse in dark. This is like the best of the best self-tan that you're ever gonna try, next to this next one that I'm gonna talk about. This is just everything you could ever want and need in a self-tan. Like literally, they claim that these are like an olive undertone, but I really don't feel like it is. Like I felt like this kind of pulled more red, and let me know if you guys feel the same way or if you feel differently, but I felt like this came out more red than it did olive, but it just gave me the perfect color. Like literally, if I could put the perfect color in a self-tan, it would be this or the next one that I'm gonna talk about. And you only need to keep it on for 2 hours. Like when it says 2 hours, like you really only need to keep it on for 2 hours. Like I feel like with some of these other express tans, like you could have kept it on a little bit longer to get that extra color, but this, every time I've worn it for only 2 hours, my tan came out so dark and so beautiful and so perfect. I just literally don't have a single negative thing to say about this. It's so perfect in every way, shape, and form. I love it so much. This would be my number 1 forever and always if it wasn't for this other one that just recently came out. And it is my number 1, my favorite self-tanner. And it is the Tropez and Ashley Graham Luxe Whipped Cream Mousse. Guys, I have never loved a self-tanner so much, but I also hate it at the same time because it's limited edition and I need to talk to somebody to make this permanent because it is the best self-tanner on the market. It's so, so good. I love the applicator or this like sprayer thing. I love the idea of it being like a whipped cream. It's similar to a mousse, but it's different. Like it's very, very unique at the same time. I absolutely love the color that comes out initially, like the color barrier that you put on, it's like a perfect golden brown. And then the color that you wake up with the next day, it's just so natural, yet so dark. I've gotten so many compliments whenever I wear this. I've had multiple people tell me, like on my video, that this is the most natural looking self-tan that I've used out of all the ones that I've reviewed, which I agree with 100%. Like I just feel like when I wear this, it's like my color, you know? Like it's not like I have a self-tanner on. Like I genuinely feel like I just walked off a beach, I came back from a vacation, and that's the color I have. Like it looks so real and just so perfect. Like huge, huge, huge props to Tropez and Ashley Graham for creating this because it is so perfect in every way, shape, and form. So that is it, you guys. That is all of the self-tanners that I have. It's 26 self-tanners. I hope I'm not forgetting any. I don't think I am, but if I didn't include one, I'm sorry. That's a lot of self-tanner though. And we are nowhere near done because there are so many self-tanners out there that I have yet to try that I'm still planning on trying. I'm shocked that we got through this. I know this is gonna be a little bit of a longer video, but like I said, I'm gonna try to keep it as short as possible. If you guys have any other recommendations of self-tanners that you want me to try, let me know your recommendations because I'm gonna make it my mission to try all of them. If it's not like in the next few weeks, just bear with me because there's so many that I'm like in the process of trying. So just comment, let me know what you want to see me try, and I will do it at some point. I will do it, I promise. And also comment and let me know what you think about the order of all of these self-tanners that I've rated. If you agree, if you disagree, why, if you love any of the self-tanners that I love, just comment, let me know your thoughts on this video. I would love to hear what you guys think, and just say hello because I love you guys and I love talking to you guys. Make sure to give this a huge thumbs up for me if you haven't already for all 26 self-tanners that I tried and reviewed and talked about for you guys, because it's a lot. So give me a thumbs up, and please subscribe to my channel, like I said, if you haven't already. Again, it just means the absolute world to me if you do, so thank you so much. But stay tuned, and I will see you guys in the next video.